Hello, and welcome to Ideagen's 2022 Global Partnership Summit live at the NASDAQ. Today, it is my pleasure to introduce Georgette Boulegeris, Grand President of Daughters of Penelope, and Jimmy Kokotas, Supreme President of AHEPA. Welcome.
Thank you.
Could you tell our audience real quickly what you do and what your organizations have been doing?
Daughters of Penelope. I'm the Grand President of Daughters of Penelope, which is an international organization. We have chapters in the United States, Canada, Europe, and throughout Greece. We are a philanthropic educational organization that supports women. This year, our theme is the power of we, women's empowerment. We support women, encourage them to optimize their talents to better their communities and their world.
I have the distinct pleasure of being the president of the Order of AHEPA, the largest and oldest Greek-American grassroots volunteer organization, 100 years old. We just celebrated our 100th anniversary in July. It's a philanthropic organization preserving and promoting the Hellenic values of philanthropy, education, civic responsibility, family, and individual excellence.
Wow, fantastic. And, that leads me to my next question. Working with so many individuals and different types of people, partnerships are a valuable aspect of your business and organizations. So how do you utilize partnerships to achieve your mission?
Well, we encourage our chapter members to work together, to recognize each other's talents and strengths, to acknowledge the fact that none of us are perfect, but we all have something to contribute. And in so doing, bring together the best of ourselves to promote our endeavors and to enhance the community. We also encourage chapters, groups of women to support one another too, so that we can even make a bigger impact on the world. So it's all about collaboration. It's all about recognizing individual successes and also elevating the organization as a whole.
For us, partnering and teamwork is at the core of what we do. Bring people together, whether it's at the chapter level as brothers, working with outside organizations, here with Ideagen and George and this great group. It's about bringing good people together to get work done and to help the community. And we've been doing that for 100 years, and we always look forward to any kind of good partners that we can find, whether we're helping them out with something or they're helping us out with something. It's about bringing good people together.
Definitely. And here at Ideagen, we're extremely grateful for the partnership we have with both of you, and we can see, where the fruits of that labor show. And I'm going to switch up and ask maybe a little more personal question. What inspires both of you to work for the betterment of people?
Well, I'm an educator. I was an educator. I'm a retired educator. I'm an educator, and I always wanted to work with people and bring the best out of people. My parents gave those fundamental values to me. I was raised with the values of the cornerstones of my family were service, faith, education, and family. So those cornerstones were part of my life the entire time. So to be involved in an organization that serves others and betters a community just was a natural transition from my work into philanthropic endeavors.
The expression pay it forward is something new to society. For this organization, it's been around for 100 years, and that's what it's based on. It's honoring the legacy of those that came before us, that helped us to get to where we've gotten, that have laid the foundations for us, and making sure that we continue that and lay the foundation for future generations to find the values, preserving those values and principles that have played such an important role. And that's what AHEPA has done, is made life better for so many other people. So we know we all stand on somebody's shoulders. There's somebody who's helped us get to where we are, and just the obligation to pay that forward and make sure that the future generations get the same opportunity.
That's inspiring, because a lot of times now today, I feel like you hear people who talk like that, and they mention what they're doing for the betterment of others. But it's obvious from your work and your organizations that you really walk the walk as well. And And I'm going to shift to a question about, Daughters of Penelope and AHEPA. So obviously there's many challenges out there for any organization, especially, one that deals with people and the betterment of them. So what is one challenge that you face that is a real tough challenge for you? And how do you resolve that? What's the solution that you maybe have to those challenges for your organization?
That's a really good question. I think one of the challenges that we're facing is to make us relevant to maybe the next generation, to put ourselves in a position where our organization is functioning in a way that's relevant to them and accessible to them and motivates them to also participate, to help them understand the value of women supporting women and women looking at the whole community and supporting the community. So that's the challenge that we're facing, and we're finding success because we've, even since September to now, we've started 2 chapters whose officers are in their late 20s, early 30s. So we're going into that next generation, but training the future leadership and bringing the next generation in is a happy challenge to have because it keeps us young too.
I think one of the biggest challenges is this ever-changing world and so many options. We talked about this yesterday during the forum. People have so many options, and getting them to prioritize what's really important in life. Options are a great thing, but sometimes you get so many things thrown at you, and they kind of occupy your time versus getting you to use your time wisely and productively and for something that's good. So getting that message out. Another thing that's a challenge for us is we're humble usually. So when you're helping people, a lot of the chapters and a lot of the members don't do as much advertising and promoting of what they're doing to inspire others. And I tell people it's not showboating, because some people think, I don't want to say we did this or did that because we did it for a good purpose. We didn't do it for advertising. We have to advertise what you're doing, because then you motivate somebody else to say, something, they just fed 1,000 people during this event. We got some restaurant guys in our chapter, we could do that too. Or they did backpacks for kids in the inner city. Wow, that's not that difficult. We can go buy backpacks and buy supplies and do it also. So promoting what, the good's got to be promoted. You hear so much bad all over the news and around you. We got to promote the good and get those good people to come out of the corners that they're in and not be hesitant to get involved and help us do the good.
Yeah, definitely. And I love both of your answers because I think they kind of work together, especially you think of the youth today and getting them involved. They are faced with so much around them. There's so many things for them to see, hear, read, it's all over the place. And you're right, you do have to find a way to stick out a little bit while maintaining those values you have of humility, And I think you're doing a great job of trying to reach those audiences, but it is always a challenge. And I know we talked on this a little bit, Georgette, you did, but I just wanted to ask about your mentors personally and what kind of lessons that they taught you. I know you mentioned, your faith and family, and that's a huge part, but were there any specific lessons maybe from a mentor you had that's really stuck with you?
Oh, I've been blessed. I've really been blessed. I've had the opportunity to be involved in this organization now for over 40 years. And all of the past presidents before me somehow took me under their wings and taught me things. Taught me things, what to do right, and maybe some things not to do. And I'm an observer. I think my students, when I was a principal of a school, taught me lessons. I learned from everybody. And so when I hear about mentor, I think everybody mentors me in some way because everyone has something to contribute into everybody else's life. My mother was a mentor. I mean, I could go, the list is so long, but I do appreciate everything that people put out there for me to learn from. And I try to take the best out of everybody.
In this organization, we are so fortunate and blessed to work with so many great people that have given back so much. One of the greatest lessons is the lesson of selflessness. And that doesn't exist too much in today's society, but to do what these people have done and trying to continue that tradition, you give of yourself so much, whether it's time, it's effort, it's running around, it's promoting the organization and expanding it and introducing it to other people. I tell people, if you have the confidence and the faith, you will come out of this organization better than you went into it. But it's a journey and it's a path. And the longer you stay on that path, the longer you continue with the journey, you'll wake up and realize, wow, I went into this thinking that I was gung ho. I wanted to help, and I was a good person. And then you realize years later that you weren't as good a person as you were, but now you are through that journey. So it'll open up horizons. It'll get you to embrace service, volunteerism, and having an impact in people's lives. And we've been blessed to have great mentors throughout this, both the organizations and throughout the AHEPA family for many, many years, because the people that have stuck around have done it because of a love of people and a love of service.
That's powerful. And I think it's very powerful for the youth watching, because you're right, they may not know the path or be able to see it, but I think, if you're able to invest yourself 100% in, the results, they'll come naturally. So I 100% agree. And I have one more question for each of you, and that's a call to action to our audience. If you had one call to action for our audience, what would you leave them with today?
Respect and collaborate. Respect other people's opinions, respect other people's journeys and what they bring to the table, and use your talents and their talents to collaborate to make this world a better place for everybody. Because we're so blessed to be in this world, and we need to make it work for everyone to benefit from. So I think respect and collaborate.
I would say get involved. Just get involved. Of all the goals, there's something for everyone there. Obviously, we won't change the world immediately. Have the patience, have the confidence that you can change the world, though. Pick one of them, work towards it, small steps, whether it's the hunger, the poverty, those are usually the easiest ones. Those are the ones I lean towards because I'm in the food business, so it's easy to cook and to serve. For other people, they've got other talents and they could address some of the other ones, and they've got good friends. But everybody's got something to offer. There's not a person out there that doesn't have something to offer a couple of times a year or a couple of hours a year to make a difference. And if the whole goal, I always say, is to have a lot of people doing a little bit than having a few people doing a lot. So we can resolve a lot of these issues and solve a lot of these problems if we get enough good people on board. So we got to get those good people out of their seats, into the game, onto the playing field, and we'll all be able to make a difference together.
Yep. And we hope we can help you along that journey of getting good people involved. So Jimmy, Georgette, very thankful for you guys to be here. On behalf of the entire Ideagen team, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for including us in your programs over the past few days.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you again, yes, for including us, and continued success to you guys for all the good work that you're doing and trying to bring good people together, because I think that's all of our missions.
Thank you. You as well.